This is a review of the GE reverse osmosis system with this model number. This one looks like it's a little bit easier to install and maintain than the other traditional ones, specifically because the cartridges are just easier to pop in and out. So we're going to go over just how easy it is to install and then how much the cartridges cost, how often you should change them and things like that. The installation is easy. You can freeze frame it here to see a schematic of it. So it's going to hook up to your water supply. This thing can just screw in line with your water supply. So right above where your on-off valve is, you just jack it in there and then send the water through it and up to your faucet. And then on your drain pipe in your sink, you just drill a hole in it and then put this thing over it. I think this is called a saddle valve. And then you run the wastewater into your drain that way, like that. And under the sink, it looks like this. I'm using the yellow sticky note method just so I know when I installed it, and then I can keep writing on there when I need to change the filters. Now, the real benefit of this system is you don't have to turn off the water to change the filters. These things just pop out and unscrew and pop back in. So there's two filters and then there's a reverse osmosis filter. And so they recommend you change the two filters every 6 months, and they sell for about 60 bucks. And then they recommend you change the reverse osmosis filter once a year, and that also costs 60 bucks. So 2 times 60 is 120 plus another 60. So you're spending $180 a year on filters for this thing, which is more than you would spend on your traditional reverse osmosis system that uses generic filters. You can usually find those a lot cheaper. So depending on how much of a pain you want it to be when you change the filters, you might want to go with a system that runs cheaper filters, because these are proprietary GE filters, so you have to buy their brand of filter. But the benefit is they pop out, pop in, don't make a mess, and everything is just clean. So this is what the faucet looks like when it's installed. It swivels this way. It's got little light on it that's timed for 6 months. So at 6 months, the light will light up to let you know it's time to change the filter. This is the flow rate. My son was complaining that it seems a little slow, but it's fast enough for me if you want a glass of water. That's how long it takes to get yourself a glass of water. And the water tastes great. So it definitely tastes like a distilled or a filtered water. So you can definitely taste the difference between this and your regular tap water. So I'm happy I bought it. I think the main benefits to it, if you're considering buying this, is it's super easy to install, and changing the filters isn't going to make a mess. It's just pop them in, pop them out. And that's what I like versus having to use a giant wrench to unscrew them and spill water into your sink with the traditional one. The disadvantage, of course, is the filters are going to cost more than if you buy one that uses generic filters.